What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here with an unboxing of one of the hottest phones of the year. This is the Samsung Galaxy S3. Announced just a few months ago. I had a chance to play with it at CTIA 2012 and came away really impressed. I'm excited to use it as my daily driver and open up this box. It's international version, meaning it's got a quad-core Exynos processor in here. No support for LTE, but it does have HSPA+. I'm almost ripping off this plastic as I'm looking at it. Let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. Alright, so here we've got the international version of the Samsung Galaxy S3 in a plain white box, nothing really on the side. On the back, this is where all the specs are going to live, 16GB version. We'll run through all this stuff a little bit later. Super AMOLED screen, Android, of course it's writing ice cream sandwich, 802.11a, B, G, and N for Wi-Fi and all the rest of that goodness that we've got in here. But enough of talking about the box, let's go ahead and dig in. Thanks to our folks and our friends at Every Electronics for sending this to us. Go ahead and rip the plastic open. Boom, throw it off to the side. Let's see what we got in the box. Got a sticker. We'll rip that sucker off. Should have two stickers actually. One on the top, one on the bottom. All right, so we've got the white version. There's also a marble-esque blue, which is had some delays with. So white is the first version that is available. Push it off to the side for just a moment. See what else we're going to have in the box. We've got books. I'm going to massacre my Spanish trying to pronounce that, but we have that in there. We've got a micro USB charging and sync cable. We've got some ear gels for presumably headphones that are in here. We've got a international power adapter because it says an international device. We've got the, I believe, 2100 milliamp hour battery. And then there are the headphones. People always say I don't take the headphones out in video, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, show what they look like real fast, and then we'll get to the phone, I promise. So headphones, ear gels, the volume up and down, accept calls, and the microphone built in. But that is not what you are here to see. What you're here to see is the phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy S3. Take a quick look around it, and I'll pop in the battery, and we'll run through the specs. But let me go ahead and rip off this plastic in a satisfying whoosh. Boom, wasn't as satisfying as I was hoping it was going to be. We've got a couple more pieces to peel off on this gorgeous HD Super AMOLED screen. Boom, Samsung Galaxy S3 inspired by nature. Let's go ahead and pop off the back and put in the battery. And I'll run through all the specs once it's powering up. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pop the 2100 milliamp hour battery in, and we'll get this party rocking and rolling. There we go. Micro SD card's going to live there. SIM card lives right there. Plastic back goes right on here. It snaps it back on. So Samsung has said this has been designed and inspired by nature. It's supposed to feel sort of Pebble-esque. We'll use that for a little while and be sure. All right, so we'll let it boot up, and I'll go ahead and run through the specs of this guy. Different versions for all parts of the world here. All US carriers, with the exception of AT&T actually, have announced this for some time of June availability. Presumably, though, we'll see AT&T make their announcement soon. Pricing is going to vary somewhere from $200 to $250. This is the international version, which you can pick up for about $700, and there are some differences here. I'll talk about it later. It's running Ice Cream Sandwich with TouchWiz 4.0. From a dimension standpoint, 5.3 inches by 2.7 inches by a pretty thin 0.35 inches. And it weighs 4.69 ounces even with that beefy battery in there. It's got a 4.8 inch that's measured diagonally, Super AMOLED screen with the resolution of 1280 by 720 with Corning Gorilla Glass 2 on it. Had a chance to demonstrate Gorilla Glass 2 while we were at CES. Came away really impressed. This thing could handle a tremendous amount of pressure. I'm not saying don't throw it out of a two-story house, but if you did say throw it out the window of a two-story house, it actually might be okay. That 2100 milliamp hour battery that we talked about is going to be good for 11 hours of talk time. Now here's where things get a little bit different. The international version has a quad-core Exynos processor, 1.4 gigahertz on each core. That's the 4212 you're keeping track at home. It's a Cortex A9. If you're going to be in the US, it's going to be a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon chip, similar to the HTC One X. As I mentioned, this is international, so we've got quad-core in here, but we're not going to have support for LTE. Unfortunately, we are stuck with HSPA+, but quad-core for HSPA+ seems to be a pretty decent trade-off. See if I can find English somewhere here. Latvia, Irish, Icelandic, English, United States. There we go. I'll go ahead and hit start and run through the rest of the specs. RAM, things can get a little bit different as well. The US, Canadian, Japanese versions are going to have 2 gigs of RAM. This one has 1 gig of RAM, available in 16, 32, or 64, but expandable with micro SD. This is a 16 gigabyte version. Camera, 8 megapixel camera on the back with 1080p recording. Can shoot at 30 frames per second. It's got face, smile detection, image stabilization, and of course that very, very, very quick, almost zero shutter lag that we've seen on other ice cream sandwich devices. 1.9 megapixel camera on the front. It can also shoot 720p video at 30 frames per second. Bluetooth 4.0. The US version will support LTE, but not have a quad-core processor similar to the HTC One X. All right, so let me go ahead and set this guy up for Wi-Fi and come back to take a quick look at the phone itself. All right, so we've got this guy all booted up, and I am expecting this to be an absolute speed demon. When I used it at CTIA, one of the first things that I noticed as I swiped my finger across it, it felt very smooth. Even at the edges, it felt very smooth. You don't really feel that sharp drop-off. Just a very subtle thing that I was immediately aware of while using the Galaxy S3. So first blush, the screen is obviously gorgeous. Samsung is really known for their beautiful screens. What I'm not seeing, and I'm really happy to not see that, is any sort of blue hue on this guy. With previous AMOLED screens, it's been sort of a bluish, sometimes green look to it. But when you look at the white spots here, it looks pretty true to white. So a quick tour of the phone. You've got one big home button in the middle, which if you go ahead and hold that button down, will open up multitasking. You can go ahead and pick which application you want to run to, or if you want to close it and swipe it right off the screen. If you double tap it, you're going to get Samsung's answer to Siri, what they're calling S-Voice, but for some reason, ours is in Spanish. We'll do a test of this though on an upcoming video. Go ahead and go back. And you saw those pop up on the left and right side. You've got a back button and a menu button there as well. So go ahead and pull up menus, and obviously we'll go back. Taking a look at apps, you can see what's going to be on board here. A lot of Samsung themed things, a lot of S applications, S Planner, S Suggest, some Video Hub stuff in here. You scroll through icons horizontally. Dropbox, actually they give you 50 gigs of Dropbox storage, which is pretty nice. Continuing to see what else they've got in here. This is an ice cream sandwich device, so widgets are accessed from the top right there, telling you can hold a widget and move it to your home screen. And you can see some of the stuff that Samsung has done here. They've done quite a bit before we even get to the sort of Google sanctioned ones, which we're at right now. So a lot of widget choices. We'll go back. Let's go to a blank part of the screen, and you can tap and hold and see what pops up there. Add to home screen, lock screen, or home and lock screen. So you can see how that behaves. Pulling down from the top gives you one of the things that I love about Samsung devices, these sort of shortcuts here at the top. So Wi-Fi, sound, rotation. I'd love to be able to switch profiles right there. You can actually scroll now. You can see mobile data, Bluetooth, driving mode, or sync. On the left-hand side of the device, we've got a volume rocker up and down. On the right-hand side, power and lock button. You've got your front-facing camera and sensors. There's where the speaker is going to live. On the top, 3.5 millimeter headset jack and noise-canceling microphone. On the bottom, that's where your charging and syncing port's going to be. Noise-canceling mic there as well. And of course, you got that plastic back. There's a camera, speaker, and LED flash. And speaking of camera, let's go ahead and see how quickly that camera launches. This is the first time ever opening it up. So hold an icon. Let's go ahead and go back. Let's close it. I can launch multitasking here, or at least try to. There we go. Let's close camera. So now it's been opened at least once, and let's see how quickly it opens. All right, tap and hold, then drag. Let's not show that again. I want to see how quick it goes without having a warning pop up. So we'll close it, hold this down, close camera. There we go. And go back home. Let's go ahead and launch the camera again. So it launches pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and take a picture of something. Let's say you want to take a picture of this box. Pretty quick. Some other settings here. You've got things, for instance, one of my favorite things about ice cream sandwich, you have a burst mode, so you can shoot very, very quick pictures. You can choose resolution, white balance, ISO, metering, anti-shake, image quality, GPS tag, and all kinds of other stuff in here. Some things that we'll talk about in the review as well that I wasn't able to show in the unboxing. You can actually track your eyes to tell you whether or not you should turn the screen off. It's got face detecting and all kinds of other detecting sort of features on here. So certainly I'll make sure to show that to you guys in the full review. Anyway guys, I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. This has been a quick unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy S3. But before I go, Let me show you a real quick size comparison with some other devices. So here is the iPhone 4S. Quite a bit difference between a 3.5 and a 4.8 inch screen. Oh, they do look like distant cousins here, both clad in white. There is the side shot of these two guys. You can certainly see how big difference this is, but also how thin the Galaxy S3 is. Let's bring in its Samsung brethren. This is the Samsung-made Galaxy Nexus. Go ahead and flip that the right way. See the size there as well. A little bit thinner, but very similar in stature and profile. And its great big brother, the Galaxy Note. You can see what these two look like on top of each other and side by side. I can do a little fan there to see each. So I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. This has been an unboxing and first look at the Samsung Galaxy S3. See you guys next video. Bye-bye.